Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I'm Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and it is countdown to Christmas is on. What's it, like 11 days? I'm trying to think what my daughter said this morning. She has this little thing she moves, so it's like I think it's 11.
Really?
I think so. 11 days for those that are counting. Only 5 days till my birthday. I accept cards, Joe Bean's gift cards.
Or if
anything
you
else.
are today Disney gift cards.
Yes,
you
you
can
wanna
get them
just-
to her today.
Yeah, just send them to me today.
Yeah.
Disney gift cards.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so you have only about a week and a half left to get your Christmas shopping in. That's crazy to me. It seems like it's crept up like quickly, very quickly. So in just a little bit, I am going to chat a little bit about why you still have time to shop locally for the holidays, because we definitely want you doing that. And actually, let's be honest, at this point in time, I don't know how quickly things can get shipped to you before. I think you have until like the 20th, I think, to request things to be shipped. However, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like the shipping time has gotten longer, even with my Amazon. I'm not even sure what I'm paying Prime for anymore because I ain't getting it in 2 days.
I know,
for the most
right?
part.
Like I checked that the other day. I ordered something and I was like, well, why is it a week now? It used to be like
Right.
that was the whole thing of Prime, like, you
Mhm.
know.
like
but
2
yeah,
days.
Yeah.
2 days.
But it was like it was over a week. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And it wasn't, and it was a bunch of things. It wasn't just like one item.
Right. Yeah. So they're I'm sure they're having some issues, but I mean, they're slacking a little bit. So you can get, your holiday shopping done locally and you won't have to worry about shipping. So, but we're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. I'm going to be talking with Woody today. He just got back from a trip to Disney. And when did you get back? Are you all right over there? You gonna make
No,
it?
well, that's part of the trip.
Sorry.
Yes, we got back Saturday, late Saturday
Okay.
Sunday morning, basically.
All right. I was for some reason I was thinking like you just got back yesterday.
No.
But
Well, mentally,
okay.
I'm still not back.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that because as he mentioned, I'm leaving for Disney tomorrow.
Yay.
So I want to pick his brain a little bit about what he did down there. And then next week when I'm back on the show, I'm going to talk about my trip, but not only that, I'm going to be joined by Chris and Kristen Breedlove, the owners of Minnie's
man.
Travel Boutique.
They just went to Disneyland.
And they just went to Disneyland. So we're going to be chatting about a lot of things Disney. So if you're thinking about planning a trip for 2023, and I don't put this out there a lot, but I am also a travel agent that specializes in Disney planning. You don't say Disney travel agent because that's not technically a true like job. Like they're not travel agents. You specialize in Disney destinations. I just want y'all to know that. But anyway, so we're going to chat about all those things. But before we get into that, I have with me Debbie Farley with Acupuncture Works, and we're going to talk about all the things that she does. And I'm just letting you know out there, if you're looking to like give someone the gift of relief of different things, we're going to talk with Debbie about all she does. And, I think a lot of people have this, like they think acupuncture and you think of those TV shows or things you see with like people with like long needles just sticking out and, they're walking around and things like
on
that.
fire.
So, yeah. Oh yeah. On fire. Yes. So, but we're going to talk about, what truly, is acupuncture about and what does Debbie, specialize in. So thank you for coming with me today on
Thanks,
the show.
Heather. Thanks for having me again today. It's a pleasure to be here. Always enjoy talking with you.
I always enjoy talking with you. I learn something new every time I talk with Debbie because I'm one of those people that's honestly why I love doing these shows, because I learn something new about the businesses that I, work with. And that's the thing, because then it gives me more opportunity to share that information out to the public. So let's get started in acupuncture. Like tell everyone like what is acupuncture and why is it helpful?
Okay, so first of all, traditional acupuncture is we're placing needles anywhere on the body from head to toe. They typically stay in for 20 to 40 minutes. It's multiple visits over a period of time until the condition has been resolved, or we're doing maintenance like chronic pain management or something like that. And with that treatment, we often use the ear because the ear actually has a map of the body in it. All the bones, all the organs, all the glands are reflected in the ear. And an example of how that might be used in a treatment is, let's say someone comes in for back pain and knee pain. Typically if we were working on back pain, we will lay them on their stomach, put needles in the low back, arms, and legs. Well, if you're having that knee pain too, then what we can do is lay you on your back, put needles in the arms and legs, put needles in the knees, and go up to that area of the ear that's related to the low back, place the needles there, and that sends the same inflammatory healing response to that low back area just as if we had put needles in. So basically, acupuncture is electrically stimulating the body's own inflammatory healing response.
So that, I'm going to be honest, that is amazing to me that you can work on people's bodies with, the needles and like working, using the ear to fix a knee or a back or, issue. And I think every time I listen to you say that, I'm always just like, that is so amazing that your body, everyone's body is so, I don't want to say weird because it's not weird, but it is weird. Like to think that you can do that. It's amazing what you can heal. I always think if you're going to heal the back, you got to work specifically right there in the area where the back is, but you don't.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you work with, people having all sorts of issues, like you were talking about back pain or knee pain. But one of the things that you work very specifically on is people that have alpha gal.
Correct. I've basically geared my entire practice now more towards the alpha gal allergy treatments as well as other allergies. And in addition to that, other tick diseases. So the Lyme, the Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Babesia, Bartonella, all of those other tick diseases, I also work on those as well.
I didn't know the last two even existed.
Oh, there's
I don't know what
30 more.
Good gracious. So alpha gal though seems to be a really prominent, and I feel like within the last maybe 10 years or so, you've seen more people. I'm sure it's been there in the past, but I've seen more people that all of a sudden are like, oh, I have alpha gal, I can't eat this or this. How do you go about treating something like that through acupuncture?
Okay, so great question. It's actually a specialized treatment. We're not using traditional acupuncture to do this. It's a specialized treatment. We're not taught this in acupuncture school. I've learned this from Dr. Nader Solomon, who is in Rockville, Maryland. He patented this treatment. It came out of French acupuncture, not so much the Chinese ear acupuncture, but more of the French based um, auricular medicine and acupuncture. And basically, what we're doing is we're finding the spot in the ear that corresponds with the spot in your body where your allergy response would start.
Mhm.
And we're placing a needle there to train the body and desensitize it over the next 3 weeks to no longer respond to that allergen. The treatment's very, very specific. If you have an allergy to alpha gal, that is the sugar carbohydrate that is in all four-limbed mammals except for humans and old world apes.
Hmm.
But in addition to that allergy, you can develop an allergy to the protein of beef or deer or pork or all of those. So then that would be additional allergies that need to be treated on top of the alpha gal. You can also develop a separate allergy to the casein, the whey, the lactose that's in milk, even though the alpha gal's in the milk, and we can treat you with the needle for the alpha gal. If you've developed a separate allergy to that, that has to be treated separately. And then dairy's just fermented milk. So sometimes people need to be treated for dairy as well. So you could end up with more than one treatment for alpha gal depending on how many allergies you have associated with that.
Okay, so that makes sense when I hear some people that say they're, you have some that have severe allergic reactions to it, and some that say, "Oh, well, I can eat this, but I can still eat this."
Right.
And so, you were telling me also that I think a common misconception is that it's only hoofed. No, yes, hoofed animals, but it's not, right? Like you were telling me,
Correct.
it doesn't have to just be a four-legged hoofed animal.
Right, because rabbits have paws, bears have paws, and people eat rabbit, squirrel, and bear, and those all have alpha-gal in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any animal that gives live birth and nurses its young will have alpha-gal in that,
hmm
except for humans and old world apes.
See, yeah, I'm glad you told me that the last time we talked because I was one of those people that just assumed it came from like cows, or deer, those that have more of I didn't realize you could get it from rabbits and squirrels, and I don't eat rabbits and squirrels. My my husband always jokes though, because my littlest one has her little BB gun. She's always pretending like she's gonna shoot squirrels, which she's not. But he's always like, "If you shoot it, we got to eat it." I was like, "The heck we do! You can eat it. I'm not eating it." But
I hear squirrel gravy's really good.
I have heard that. I don't know. I've never had it though.
Me either.
Now, how long does the treatment, and you may have already touched on this, but how many times do you have to come in for treatment, or how long does the needle stay in the ear, to help with the alpha gal? Do you have to come in multiple treatments, or does it normally take after one?
So it's usually one treatment.
Okay.
Again, depending on how many needles we put in, we can put up to 7 needles. I can put up to 7 in a treatment. So, if it's alpha gal, milk, dairy, beef, pork, lamb, then that covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so typically you come in, we do the evaluation, the consultation, I place the needles. They're little teeny tiny needles that are no bigger than your eyelash. They slide under the skin. And we glue those with Mastisol surgical glue, and a little small band-aid goes on top of that with more glue so that they won't come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they stay in for 3 weeks. And then you come back, we take those needles out and retest you, and then determine that the treatment's worked, and then tell you how to safely introduce back into your diet.
So during that 3-week time period, you don't eat meat. You still stay away from the meat. Like, do you recommend that
Correct.
they don't, they, yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want that treatment you're basically telling the body for 24/7, don't respond to this substance. And if you're continuing to add that to your diet, then you're basically defying what the signal's
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Okay. Now you said like you also use it to treat like Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And what's the other one? Limes?
So Lyme, Rocky Mountain spot fever, all the other tick diseases, I do treat those as well. I don't use this treatment for that.
Okay.
That treatment is strictly for allergies. So we can use
Okay.
that for shellfish allergies, nut allergies, environmental allergies, cats, dogs, dust, trees, grasses. Any kind of allergy can be treated with the Solomon auricular
I
allergy
need to bring my
treatment.
husband over there and get you to just stick him with all kinds of things. I feel like he is all types of allergic to everything. But can you use that on someone who has like a lactose issue?
So
Like,
if
or is
it's an
that different?
allergy,
Okay.
if it's an allergy, we can treat that. If not, then it's an intolerance, and so we can't treat that with the
Okay.
allergy treatment.
Okay. I think hers is more of an intolerance to milk. My little one has the lactose issue. She can't drink regular dairy or like ice cream and stuff like that. So,
Right.
now, say if someone's coming in, say they have alcohol and they want to come in and talk with you about it,
Mm-hmm.
what does that kind of look like? Do you use insurance? Is it a pay up, one-time payment type thing? How does someone come in and make a payment for that
Okay.
treatment?
Yeah. So basically, what happens is people can book online
Mm-hmm.
at our website, Acupuncture Works LLC, Lynchburg.com. You can go online, book that SAT treatment, and it's $100 deposit that is applied toward your visit. And then, or if you call the office, we also take $100 deposit for the visit as well. So you do the $100 deposit, and then you come into the office. We do the consultation, the evaluation, and the treatment, and then you pay for the entire treatment at that time, which would be an additional $275.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come back for your follow up visit, you don't owe anything.
Okay.
So we take all that payment up front, so that when basically you come in, we check you, you're done, and you can go out. And you're not waiting on us while we're dealing with other clients.
And I feel like that fee is so doable. Like it's not like an astronomical amount, especially if you're someone that's been suffering. You used to be a red meat eater, and then all of a sudden, like you can't anymore, and you want to go and you want to eat a burger. Like I wouldn't know. Like if my son-in-law couldn't eat hamburgers, I don't know what he would do with himself. Like we'd have to make sure we could bring him in and get worked at. But you think about healthcare and the cost of things, and that's something that's relatively, I say, inexpensive to go and do, even if you're not having to utilize it. But you said you can also use your health savings
Correct.
for that.
Yes. So you can use health savings, like spending accounts. If your insurance covers acupuncture for allergies, we
Mhm.
can code the bill for you to get reimbursed.
Okay.
Most insurance in Virginia doesn't cover acupuncture, which is why I'm not a provider.
Mm-hmm.
But again, some insurance will cover that as
Okay.
well. And yeah, it's cheaper than an EpiPen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
EpiPens are like almost $1,000, a lot.
Yeah, between 500 and 1,000.
Right. So I think that it's definitely worth going out and checking into. Now, if someone is looking into doing it, what's the best way for them to reach you? As I ask you that, and the train comes through. So we'll hold on a second, because the train for me always likes to come right about this time, every show.
It
and every
loves
fair.
Talk Local to me.
It does love Talk Local to me. I'm still considering getting one of those little boards and putting it out saying, "Excuse me, podcast going
me.
on. If you could be quiet
me.
as you come through." But yeah, what's the best way to reach you? Where's your office located?
So we're located in Windhurst in Lynchburg. The phone number is 434-237-0302. The website's Acupuncture Works, LLC, Lynchburg.com.
Awesome. Now, I want to ask you about something, and I know, and I hope I'm not going to throw a curveball at you, but I know there's you used to specialize a lot in like fertility
Yes.
treatments. Can we talk about that for just a second? Because
We
I know
can.
there's a lot of women out there that they're doing a lot of things to try and have a baby, or and
Yes.
I wanted to kind of chat with you about that, because I know that acupuncture can help
Yes.
with fertility, and I know that you have a great success rate with it. So I wanted to kind of throw that out with anyone listening that's having thoughts about utilizing acupuncture.
Sure. So I've worked with fertility patients for over 20 years. And basically, what we're doing with the acupuncture is we're helping to regulate the body so that it can perform the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that means regulating the cycle as well. But I've also worked with that with a lot of people undergoing IVF,
Mm-hmm.
IUI. We work along with you if you're working with a fertility specialist when they're trying to build up your progesterone. We're
Mm-hmm.
building up the progesterone when they're looking at ovulation. We do treatments to help with ovulation. So we can do that in conjunction with fertility specialist or alone. Depending on what's going on, sometimes it can take 2 to 6 months to have somebody be able to conceive. Sometimes it takes longer. There's a lot of things that go into that, stress being one of those. You really have to be mindful of how stress is affecting your body, because it can have such a negative impact on all areas, including the fertility
Mm-hmm.
aspect of that. So, helping women to manage the stress of going through fertility is also something that the acupuncture is beneficial in doing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently, with some of the work that I've been doing, I also use homeopathy now instead of a lot of Chinese herbs, because so many people are on medications now that a lot of the herbal supplements that we used in Chinese medicine, as well as some nutritional supplements, are contraindicated with medications. So it makes it really hard to prescribe something.
Mm-hmm.
But in using the homeopathy, an additional step that I can use that I wasn't using before is to figure out what may also be causing that infertility issue. Is there an allergy to your hormones? And do we need to correct that? Is there another hormonal imbalance going on that's related to viruses, bacteria, funguses, or parasites? And so we can look at that as well and see what's going on in addition to what I was already doing
Mm-hmm.
to help regulate the body.
I just I know that so many women struggle with infertility, and um without going into a lot of detail, like I've recently had to learn more about things, than I knew,
Hmm.
that happens with infertility. And I think seeing that sort of struggle, it's heartbreaking,
Hmm.
and you want to be able to help find ways for couples to, I mean, IVF is expensive.
Yes, it is.
um, I've seen people like literally clear their bank accounts, their retirement fund, everything in the hopes. And I'm talking about the hopes because that's not 100% effective, that you're going to conceive using IVF. So, just that hope, being able to maybe offer other ways or other avenues that maybe they didn't think about. Cause I would have never have thought acupuncture until I met you and learned
Right.
more about what you did. Um, so I just wanted to make sure to kind of throw that out and let people know that this is another option potentially
Yes.
to
No,
look
and I'm
at.
glad you did. Yeah, because it is. It's another option. And, I have a lot of options for a lot of different conditions.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, acupuncture is great for fertility, and I've had a lot of success with it.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me great joy. It's brought me great heartache because when you're working with people and it doesn't happen, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just as heartbreaking to me as it is to the client.
Right.
And then the joy that happens when they finally do conceive,
Mm-hmm.
and the joy of people bringing their children to meet me. And
Right.
it's really heartwarming, and it's a nice balance to what I do.
I think, if you're listening, whether it's for alpha gal infertility or just, other, like you said, pains or, like, like arthritis or, other issues that you have, acupuncture is something that I think a lot of people don't really think about. They just kind of, oh, they hear about it, but they don't really
Mhm.
go and try and learn more. So I guess what I'm trying to say is go learn more, go talk to Debbie. Um, they can set up consult with you, correct?
Yes.
And go learn what acupuncture can do for you. And definitely give it a shot. I mean, I would rather come, like you said, for alpha gal, I'd rather come and do 300 and some, than go through tons of testing through hospitals and all these different things and then like nothing.
And then they say,
They
sorry,
say,
just don't
sorry,
eat meat.
I'm gonna give you some bills. I'll give you some bills at the end of the month. So yeah. I definitely, I love talking with Debbie, and I, have heard so many of her success stories that, it's definitely, I highly encourage you to reach out to her. And lastly, give us again, phone number, website,
Yes.
address, all the things so people can come. I expect everyone to leave. Well, please listen to the rest of the show, but then go, find Debbie.
So it's 434-237-0302 and Acupuncture Works, LLC, Lynchburg.com. And we do have gift certificates
I
available.
was just getting ready to ask you that. Do you have gift certificates available? Because I was like, great segue into shopping local.
Yes.
Because I always tell people, you don't have to give an actual gift, like gift certificate, stuff like that. That people, I would love. I'm not gonna lie. Every year, I ask my husband to get me like a gift certificate to get a massage or a pedicure. Every year, I get a gift certificate to Kohl's. I mean, it's cool. I'll go to Kohl's. But like sometimes you just want. I will go to Kohl's myself and shop, but I'm more apt to go do something for myself like the massage or pedicure, or even go have a consult with you for something
Mm-hmm.
if someone else has gotten it for me and I don't like, because that's kind of a what is it? You tend to not take care of yourself because you're always
Right.
so busy taking care of everyone else. So you don't tend to carve out the time
Right.
for yourself. So I think if you're out there and you're thinking about it, give somebody the opportunity to carve out time for themselves. Give them a gift certificate that they can utilize in that way. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was literally just getting ready to ask you, like,
Yeah.
hey, do you do gift cards?
Yeah, and up to any amount for the full treatment. I've had a couple people get their loved ones alpha gal treatment
Mhm.
for the holidays. So
Okay.
you just call us up, pay us, and we'll email you the gift certificate.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thank you for having me. I
I-
always enjoy it.
And please feel free to stay and chat with Woody and I about all things local
Disney?
and Disney and shopping. And have you ever been to Disney?
Yes.
You travel a lot, so I wasn't actually sure because I knew you were coming in, and then I was like, but I knew you had also gone to do. By the way, Debbie is a fabulous photographer. I'm gonna throw that out there too. And I knew you were on a trip.
Yeah, we just got back from New Mexico.
What were y'all photographing in New Mexico?
Sandhill cranes and snow geese.
What are snow geese?
That
I mean, Woody shook his head like he knew. So I'm
No, I don't.
What is
I,
this?
I like the word.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. I thought maybe you knew what a snow
I'm going to
was.
put that in my vocabulary.
Just go toss that around.
I'm
Hey,
It's a goose.
Snuggie.
is that going to be a new Grover friend?
It'll be something. Yeah, you're going to see that again.
Awesome.
it's a white goose.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they migrate down they're coming from Canada down into New Mexico for the winter.
Okay.
You'll see the sandhill cranes in Florida all year round. Some of those will migrate down this way. As a matter of fact, Lake Mattamuskeet in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
Pocosin Lakes, and a couple of places down there. They also have snow geese, tundra swans, and birds like that also migrate down.
Okay.
There's just a migration pattern that happens that they leave the colder weather for less colder weather.
I need to do that. Now, and when I say that Debbie is a fabulous photographer, I'm not talking about like she can just go outside and, shoot your family. I mean, I'm sure she probably could, but
No.
you do wildlife photography. And so like Debbie has been on safari. She has photographed like lions and tigers and bears. Oh
Well,
my.
it'll be
All of
tigers in
them?
India, and then I can say I've photographed lions, tigers, and
Oh,
bears.
so you haven't done the tigers yet. Okay. I knew
Oh,
you've
we're
done-
doing them in April.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, your photography is beautiful. Like it's breathtakingly beautiful. I
Thank
love
you.
it. If you if you ever want to see some beautiful, you've had your artwork on display though here at the Bauer Center,
At the Bauer
down-
Center, at the Goose Creek Studio,
Mhm,
the Summit,
right?
the
River-
Academy.
Riverview Art Space
Mhm.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember you had a show like you had stuff on display there.
Yeah.
So
And my office.
yes, your office has got a lot of beautiful artwork.
Acupuncture in the Art Gallery.
There you go. Go get your alpha gal and then look at all the beautiful photography while you're
Look at the
doing it.
snuggies.
At the snuggies. I love it. That's a cute word. I want a snuggie. It makes me think of like those. Remember back in the day you could get the snuggly?
Yeah.
That
That's
little
what-
blanket you used to like wrap up in the
Yeah.
snuggly. So
Well, and then they've got the Snuggies. which is-
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. New word for you, Woody. New friend for
Thank
Grover.
you so much.
So speaking of Grover, how's he doing?
He's doing great.
Putting out any new episodes lately? haven't-
Yeah, he's got a
haven't
few to
checked.
work through. Yeah, he took a week off.
He took a week. Was he at
Yeah,
Disney with
he
you?
was yeah, he took a week.
So I'm not gonna lie though, friends. Woody's at Disney, and he's messaging me. He's like, "I've got some ideas for Grover." I was like, "Is Grover building a theme park
Yeah, well, you never know
Of a
with,
Grover
with this
theme
guy.
park. Here in Bedford?" Where'd you go for your vacation? Grover theme park in Bedford. Virginia.
Grover World.
Grover World. Not to be
It's right out here in the parking lot.
right next to the
Like,
Bigfoot sanctuary.
I'll make a park hopper for everybody, so don't
Back
worry.
and forth.
You can get it all done in one day.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So you just went to Disney. Now you and your lovely wife
Yeah.
have a Disney podcast,
Yes.
correct? What's that
Yes.
called? I feel like you have a different podcast.
It's-
What's
I
the new
have
podcast.
I have the perfect name for it. So it's called Woody's Roundup,
Yep.
but she's really the host. It's just
Okay.
yeah. So but we kind of go over tips and tricks at Disney. A little bit of news, not much, and then it's just us kind of having fun for half an hour, and that's about it.
I'm excited because I'm going to come on the show soon.
Yes.
We're going to chat probably
Yeah.
when I come back from
Yeah.
Disney at some point. So, you just got back.
Yep.
I'm getting ready to leave.
Yep.
So how was it? I want to know because I'm getting ready to go down, and I'm sure there are people that. So just to give you guys an idea, we went with my entire family a little over a year ago to Disney, and the way that we told our kids that we were going was the year prior we packed up these boxes for Christmas and put like Disney balloons in them. And then we got t-shirts made that say Disney Cousin Crew and like all this stuff. And so I have the video. I need to share it on my my minis page, but they opened up the boxes and like the balloons popped out and they all saw the shirt and it was really cool. So if you're looking to do that for 2023, you still have time to book a vacation. But I think going down at Christmas time though is hands down like my favorite. Like I've been at Halloween and I went for Christmas last year and I'm getting ready to go back. But it's just, I hear people say like that the magic is lost because prices are rising or whatever, but I'm here to tell you it is not. It is wonderful.
It's to me, this time of year is the best time to go.
Yeah,
because the weather, for one, like because it gets disgustingly hot in the summer in Florida, and it is a lot of pavement. Okay, there's not a lot of shade. So if like you're not used to that heat, it is very shocking.
It is not Virginia heat.
No, it is different levels. So for us, we've gone just about every time of the year, and we've kind of narrowed it down to around Halloween. And if we want that decor, or like we went this week, the first full week of December, and the weather was gorgeous. I mean, it was like 70s, low 80s. It was never too hot. You could wear a t-shirt if you wanted to, or you could wear a hoodie if you wanted to, and it didn't rain one time. And
well, let me
it
just
was
rub
magical.
it in because my forecast is looking rainy and like mid 60s, but
Ooh.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the rain, it's supposed to be scattered, which
It'll
normally
come in
there's
and
pop-up
go.
showers all the
Yeah.
time in Florida. So
Yeah.
the thing that was really bugging me, and I know you and I talked about it, is that we hemmed and hawed about going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yes.
Because there is an additional cost to that event. And so we waited until the last minute, and we got tickets to go the evening that we get there. So literally we're driving for 10 hours. And then we're going to stay up till midnight to go to a Christmas party.
Yeah.
But then like the other day I was looking and it was 98% chance of rain and thunderstorms. And I was super bummed because I was like, oh no, our Mickey's Merry Christmas Party is going to get rained out. And, but now I keep looking and it's kind of looking like it's pushing back and it's only going to be like 3 or 4 hours of rain now. So.
Florida's, it always just kind of comes in, cleans out the park, and then everything's back to normal. So
now, did you go to all 4 parks while you were down there?
We did. We made it to all 4.
Had you been to all 4 before? You had, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We visited all 4. I have to say that we spend the least amount of time in Hollywood Studios.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know what's funny is when we first started going, like for our honeymoon, Hollywood Studios was my favorite. I think at the time, because like it had like a backlot tour. It had a couple of different behind the scenes movie aspects.
Right.
That this has been like 10, 12 years ago. And over the course of the 10 or 12 years, they've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. And so it's about my least favorite park now. Like I'm good after about maybe 2-3 hours, if that. And then I'm like, all right, let's go somewhere else.
I hate to say it because it's my least favorite park as well. Not that I'm trying to deter anyone from going. I think for me though, because I never went when they had the backlot tour or any of
that. Was wonderful. Like, I mean, that was honestly, it had this vibe to it that made sense to me. Right. And listen, I'm the biggest nerd I know. Right. But like, I don't know, like Galaxy's Edge doesn't do it for me a lot. Like, I mean, I'll walk around it. It looks cool. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like, it's not like you can walk on to Rise of the Resistance.
Yep.
It's not like you can just kind of like experience things. You look through it and it's a fantastic land. And I love Toy Story Land as well. It looks wonderful, but just the lines for that are just kind of always insane. And then the one ride that I do love the Runaway Railway,
Railroad, yes.
is always 115-minute wait.
Yep.
So for me, that park is like, I go in, I think we went in and we got like something to eat, walked around. We go through every gift shop because we like doing that. And then I'm good.
Yeah.
And then that's it for me. But the other parks now, I will like Animal Kingdom's one that we love to explore.
Yep.
Epcot is one that we can stay in all afternoon. And of course, Magic. I mean, that's the,
The magic.
that's the one.
Well, I agree. So with Hollywood Studios, when we went, you're right. I guess too, for me, it's like I don't do a lot of the roller coasters or things
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
So when
Yeah.
you've got like the the Tower of Terror, and you've got the Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster, and those are like the bigger rides there. There's not very many what I would consider smaller kids rides.
No.
Unless you
No.
go do like the Alien Swirling Saucer and then Toy Story Mania, which Toy Story Mania stays
Yeah.
pretty packed
See, I love Toy Story Mania
as well.
but again, like it's always like a 75 to 100.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it's just for me, like I guess if you've gone several times, it's just a little bit different, It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I could wait, but I don't know. But I mean, a lot of it too is just kind of walking around looking, and then I'm good there at that park.
I was joking with my son-in-law the other day, which wow, Rise of the Resistance currently. So I have my app on my phone. It's only a 70-minute wait. That's not bad. And people are going to think I'm crazy, but that is not bad because they
That's
usually
the crowd size was not bad this week, this
yeah,
past
watch
week.
it'll be swamped.
It was a good mix. Like it wasn't shoulder to shoulder. It
Mhm.
wasn't crazy because we've been at some of the parties where literally shoulder to shoulder, you could
Yeah.
barely move down the street.
Well, I think it was the week after Thanksgiving or the week of I kid you not. Slinky Dog Dash
Yeah.
was at a 3-hour wait. And I messaged my son-in-law and I said, no. Please tell me,
No.
would you wait for 3 hours to ride the Slinky? Because he rode it when we were down there.
Yeah.
We had a lightning lane. And he rode it and I said, was it worth riding? Would you wait 3 hours this time? Like lightning lane
Yeah,
aside.
yeah.
Say you don't get the lightning.
Yeah.
He was like, no.
No.
But I do think for anyone out there, Genie Plus, in my opinion, is worth it.
Yes.
Did you get that while you were down there? Andy?
No, but again, it was so the crowd size that we went the day of, it wasn't horrible. Like and then they had extra magic hours that night.
Mhm.
So we ended up getting on every ride that we wanted to with a minimal wait. Like I mean, Peter Pan was almost I'm not gonna say it was walk on, but like
Nuh-uh.
we caught it at the end of a parade, and we made it all the way through the queue, and it was wonderful. Pirates of the Caribbean, same thing. We made it halfway through, but then something happened with the ride, which caused a little bit of a delay. But honestly, everything else later that night. So they had extra magic hours till 11 p.m.
Mhm.
And if you were staying at a deluxe resort, which we were not, you could stay until 1, right?
Wait, so how do you find out about that? Because I'm not
that
staying
was
at a deluxe.
all right. So it was a little tricky. So that night there was no party, right?
Right.
So it was extra magic hours were in the app. It said it closed at 11.
Right.
All right. So then we get to the line. I was like, all right, we closed at 11. Right. We asked the lady, the cast member.
Uh-huh.
Closed at 11. Yep. Close. Well, actually, if you're staying at a resort on site, you get to stay till 1. So in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't think that's true. I didn't say that. I was like, that's only for deluxe people.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
I'm not going to correct her because I was like, well, okay. So then we get in, and I was like, well, I mean, that'd be pretty cool if we could stay till 1, even though we did not stay at Deluxe Resort. So we were riding. I mean, honestly, Haunted Mansion, basically walk on up until 11 o'clock. All the Mermaid, all that stuff. Everything was great except for Mine Train. That's always a line.
Yeah.
So then
And Jungle Cruise,
and Jungle Cruise.
which I don't get, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And then so after around 11:07, I remember that because I wanted to go sit. I know it was specific because I wanted to go sit in that PhilharMagic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to sit. Right. My feet were kind of hurting. I was like, all right, let's just find something to sit. And it was at 11 o'clock, which is the end of extra magic hours.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go in, and she was like, "Oh, can you scan your
Magic Man.
Magic Band?" But mine had died I had the Magic Band Plus.
Okay.
So then Laura had to scan hers. She was like, "Oh, you're not staying at a deluxe resort. So unfortunately, this is only available to
Gotcha.
deluxe." So we kind of knew that. We were just kind of testing it.
Yeah.
But if you are staying at a deluxe resort, that's an awesome perk. I mean, that's fantastic. But then after that, we just went back home.
Yeah.
Went back to the resort.
So you stayed at All Star Movies?
All Star Movies. That was the first time.
I knew it was the first time you stayed
Yep.
at All Star. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was good. Like I for us, not having kids and having gone a couple times, we really are trying to stay at every resort.
Right.
And so for us, it's just about the vibe of the resort for me, right? And so far, my favorite's Coronado in Port Orleans. Just because it's like we don't have kids to run around, and
right.
so we like and so does the train. It was good. It was nothing wrong. The room was great. The only problem, I'm gonna tell you this, and I didn't tell you this before. This is okay. So the trip is going great, right? Again, we had gone during COVID several times, and I think you went during COVID, so you remember how.
Did yep.
You remember how. And during COVID, there were certain things in place, like the blocks, the spacing of the people, and on the buses, it was nice because they spread you out,
right?
And well, all that is completely gone, which is fine with me, right? However, it is flu season, so Wednesday I woke up with the worst cold chills ever.
Oh,
no. And then so for 2 days straight, I was basically in that All Star Movies room, right? That was what I saw for 2 days.
You had to stay in the room for 2 days?
What happened was I was so sick. I got so sick so quick that I couldn't really do anything. And then so finally I worked up enough where that one of those days was Hollywood. I was like, all right, let's go and just go around the park. And about after 2 hours, I was like, I got to go back to the room. And lay down, slept, and then the next day was Animal Kingdom, and again but we had finally rode out to CVS and got every over the counter thing I could think of. So by the end of the trip, I think I liked All Star Movies less because I had to see so much of it. You know what I mean? Like I just got there was nowhere to kind of relax in the room.
Right.
Like we've stayed in rooms that had like a couch or a table or somewhere just to kind of it was either bed or nothing, but I mean, which is when you're sick, it's totally fine. It's but it was good. It was a good resort. I like the gift shop, but
that's one of mine and Autumn's biggest concerns going down is catching. It's weird because going down during, we went in 2021.
Yep.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And they had relaxed a lot of the COVID guidelines. You still had to wear your mask on the buses, and you still had to wear them indoors at the time. But I think that's one of our biggest things that's going down right now, so close to Christmas, like whether we'll get sick down there or just once we get back.
And I got sick down, and then Laura started getting sick the last day. And then we both were sick on the way home. And by sick, I just mean just a cold. Like it was just the worst.
Head cold,
just oh my God, I just want to lay down and want to sleep.
Yeah.
And we're starting to we're getting over it now. But it was, I hated wearing the mask down there. I would never do that again. I hated that. I missed though, hand sanitizers everywhere. They weren't everywhere.
I've packed a bunch of that.
I know. There were little things where it's I found myself reaching for a hand sanitizer and could never find one. That would have been great. And then honestly, but I get it. I'm just complaining at this point. On the buses, at the end of the day, they packed you in so tight where it's if you had no choice but to get sick. That's the only thing. I was just kind of I wish they'd have cut it off half of that capacity on the bus at least. But
so here's where I'm super excited so the first time we went, we stayed at All Star Music.
Yeah. Which we walked over there. We liked it.
Yeah, I had one of the one of the family suites though. We separated, so there was an actual bedroom and then like you said, there's an outer area that has the couch and pull down beds and stuff with the table.
Yep.
So And we enjoyed it. The second time we went, I will say when you stay at the All-Star Resort, so be ready to walk because you're always the last, like the furthest away
Yeah.
parking. Like the buses drop you off furthest away from all the resorts and everything. So like when you're tired leaving the resort and you think you don't want to walk anymore, just get ready. You're gonna walk.
Yeah, you got
'cause
like another mile.
You got a minute. But after, when I went back by myself last December, I got to stay at the Grand Floridian, which is like
deluxe.
I can't even that's the best
Deluxe.
So the only other place I really want to go to the Polynesian because I've heard that's just as beautiful, if not more beautiful. I'm not really beautifuler.
Yes.
Anyway,
it's amazing.
So at the Grand Floridian, you can choose to take a bus. You've got the monorail. You've got the ferry.
Yeah.
So you had options there. So this time. And I'm kind of like you. I want to stay at a different resort every time. One, just because I want to see, but then I also want to be able to give any of my clients, I want to be able to give them like personal reasons
You
why.
can tell them pros, cons, and
so we're staying at Art of Animation this year, which is still considered a value resort, but
That's
it's
a
kind
good
of
one,
a
though.
step up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we're doing another family suite because I don't think my daughter and son-in-law want me sleeping in the same room with them.
It gets tight.
So
it is.
But I think it's going to be cool to be able to look at, okay, so you pay a little bit more for the family suite at Art of Animation than you do All-Star Music. So I want to kind of see because I've been in the All-Star Music one, how does it differ? What does the room look like that's any different? That would mean why would you want to pay extra? I do think one of the things though for me is going to be the use of the Skyliner.
Oh yeah, Skyliner is fantastic.
Because like you said, with the Skyliner, you're in your own little box with just your family. They don't cram you in with a million other families. So it's going to be a little bit better bus-wise. Now, you can only use the Skyliner to get to Epcot and Hollywood Studios and some resorts. So like if you want a resort hop.
You can go to Caribbean, the Riviera.
Yep.
And
Yacht,
Art of Animation.
Boardwalk.
And Pop Century.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try that out. Now, Autumn, and y'all know Autumn. I mean, y'all have heard her on here before. She's a little nervous. She does not like to be in high places. This is why I'm driving.
Oh, this one though, really, the Skyliner is the most comfortable. That's what in this trip we really talked a lot about. I love statistics and analytics and I wonder why they do this. Do they do this because of this? And this trip, I started noticing the transportation thing. So, when you book a trip, you want to go to Disney, and I know it's different budgets involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the factors that I'm starting to in our own travels is all around comfort, right? So at the end of the day, I want to get back to the resort. Well, which resort allows you to do that with different transportation options?
Right.
And it was really eye-opening on this one to notice okay, all right, so that All-Star, they're kind of limited in this way.
You just got the bus.
You just got the bus, and then at Disney Springs, they put all All-Star people on the same bus.
Right.
So, there's just different pros and cons, but what I love about it though is going to a different one every trip to see that. There was one day, the last day, we were kind of both kind of not feeling well, but we were we don't really want to walk around a park because we were kind of tired. We ended up sitting in the Grand Floridian lobby and just watching the gingerbread house and watching people.
Right.
And it was wonderful.
I think that's another thing I encourage people to do is resort hop. Especially right now during Christmas time.
God,
they have different Christmas trees up and the gingerbread houses that are at different locations. And so that's fun. But I agree with you on the transportation because coming from staying at the All-Star Music where your only option is literally the bus. It's the bus, or if you've driven, but then if you drive and then you drive to the resort, to the different parks, you're going to have to park at the ticket and transportation center.
And then you got to take a shuttle.
Oh, it's crazy. So, but then going directly to the Grand Floridian where I had options, and I'm here to tell you, being on a monorail hotel is hands down. That's the way to do it.
It's almost, it makes you, I get why. Again, I know they're different budgets.
Yep.
But I also get the appeal just from a transportation thing of those resorts. Never mind that they're awesome, right? But just the point that was I'm really you literally hop on the monorail and you're at Magic Kingdom in 2 seconds.
Yep.
or like you're just kind of away from a crowd. You know,
Mhm.
like sometimes it's just like I kind of want to go.
Yep.
And I just want to get away.
Even doing the ferry boats was nice though. 'Cause,
Oh,
like
that was
we got
yeah.
one night we got I got to the monorail and like let's be honest, like if it's at the end of the day, like if the fireworks have just
Yeah, it's
ended,
going to be packed
you're gonna
no matter
yeah.
what.
It's packed, but they can get more people like on the ferry. So,
Yeah.
going over on the ferry was really nice. And you didn't have that long of a wait, but
We did
definitely
start
different options were awesome.
and we had dinner reservations at Epcot at like 8:20 at the oh man, it was in
Oh,
like
I want to know where you
Mexico.
went.
Oh god, I can't think of the name now. It
La
was in the
Coquina, is it
big
like
building.
I forget what it's called.
The big the Mexican building.
The big the
Yeah,
Aztec.
we ate it. Yeah, we ate at the restaurant overlooking the volcano
Okay.
in there, which was delicious.
Is that where the Three Caballeros ride
Yes,
is?
exactly.
Yes, it
Yep,
is.
right
I
there.
love that ride.
That's where we went, and that was delicious. But like, I mean, like something like that, like you have a late dinner reservation. I started to notice that I didn't want to linger around the park after because getting to your resort was a hassle. So like we started noticing, well, like if you waited till the park closed, you're in for trouble. But
Mhm.
if you left about 30 minutes early, you're okay because everybody's waiting for the fireworks, but you missed the fireworks. So it's all these little tricks that if you go multiple times, and that's again a pitch for the travel agents that go quite a bit.
Yes.
They can tell you that stuff. Like they can tell you like, hey, listen, if this is important to you, do this.
Mhm.
Because it's really the more you go, you kind of notice like these little roundabouts that kind of help your trip just become more enjoyable. So you're not waiting and standing in a bus for 80%. You're not for a lot, but it feels like it is.
That's one thing I get people that say, well, if you go and book your own trip by yourself, like let's say you just go onto the Disney World website and book your own trip.
Yeah.
So if you do that, and then you also request a quote through myself,
Yeah.
you're going to get the same price. So people go, well, why should I use a travel agent versus just doing it myself? Okay, I'm going to tell you what. There are a lot of reasons that you should. One being what he just said, the tips and tricks that can be given to you. But also it takes a lot of the stress off of you. For one, if you are going, like if this is your once in a lifetime trip, like if you're
Yeah.
going for the only time and your family and you've got all these, let's talk about dining reservations. You want to go to Chef Mickey, you want to go to Ohana, you want to go to some of these bigger dining places that book up, and I'm talking about they book up fast.
Yeah. You can't play.
You
Like,
can't play.
No.
You have to be up. So dining opens 60 days before your trip, 60 days in advance, and the time frame opens at 6 a.m. By 6:05,
Yeah.
quite a bit of the dining reservations you want, you're not getting.
Yep.
However, your agent will be up and ready to go and booking those trips for you very quickly. And getting you the reservations that you want, and you can be sleeping. I know when I did this through Kristen, because Kristen,
Yeah.
and Chris Breedlove were working with us.
Yep.
We had given her our list, and we'd said, here's where we would like to go. We knew we weren't going to get everything,
Yeah.
but here's where we wanted to look at. And so I'm one of those people too. Like I did get up at 6 because I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I hope they're doing their work. And like all of a sudden, I just started getting emails, bing,
Yeah.
bing, and it was like, your reservation has been complete. Your reservation has been complete. And like all of a sudden, I was sitting here going, yes, she got this. Like, and
Yeah.
it was really, but I wasn't having to stress about doing it myself.
No.
So there's things like that. There's things like if you're having issues while you're down there, you can contact your travel agent, and there are things that maybe they can get through because they have a different like line they can call. Like there's lots of different things that make it, why you should use an agent versus doing it yourself. And I can't say for everyone, but I can say for Minnie's Travel Boutique, our services are complimentary. So we're not charging any extra. Like the quote you get from us is the quote you would get from yourself.
Yeah.
And so why not?
And I will say this trip versus like I said, we went I think like 3 or 4 times during COVID, like in 2020, 2021. I will say during those times, nothing was wrong with the park. Don't get me wrong. But like this trip, it felt like the magic was back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, I mean, I have no idea how much like the CEO has to do with everything at the park. Right.
Right.
I really don't like, but I know that like when Bob Iger was there, they had a feeling. And then he left. And then during COVID, which I get it, it's during COVID. So it may be that because of that, they felt a little off. People weren't as nice and everybody was just kind of testy, right? Well, this trip, I can honestly say every single cast member that we interacted with was super sweet, super nice, engaging. Like, I mean, the one in our gift shop even talked, like she flipped out about our magic bands. She could be totally like just whatever. That might be a role she's playing. She made us feel so unique. And then in the parks, everybody was so sweet. So it was just it was refreshing that things were back to normal, right? You can tell things are back to normal because you get a cold when you leave. But it was great. It was just a great all around. Everything was beautiful and working. Nothing was dirty. And so it was nice to see the parks are like, oh, okay, good. Okay, they haven't lost their magic.
Well, I am really excited to come back next week and talk about how my trip went and have Kristen and Chris on with us.
I can't wait to hear about Disneyland.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah, there's going to be so much fun next week. So if you are, thinking about traveling to Disney anytime soon, or you're just a Disney, aficionado, like you want to hear more about what's happening, enthusiast, all the things. We have some really great dining reservations booked. I'm excited to talk about. I got up super early and got I know we're going to Boma for breakfast, which is one at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we're going to Ohana. We've got a Chef Mickey reservation.
Have you been to Yak and Yeti yet?
Yes.
Oh, we did that for the first time this trip. It was borderline life changing. That's how delicious it was.
I went to Yak and Yeti when I went on my solo trip in December, which was really good.
Unreal, right?
Like, it was good. Yeah. Yes. I will say though, my favorite thing in Animal Kingdom is the street corn.
Oh,
From the street corn
I totally agree.
That's my favorite.
Yep.
I'm like the most excited about that.
Yep.
But then we also got a reservation to the artist at Storybook Point, the Snow White.
Yeah.
So that one just came back. So I'm super excited about all the things we're going to be talking about. So tune in to Talk Local to Me next Wednesday. And until then, shop local, support local, all the things.